Don't you just love it when you find one of those recipes that is totally in alignment with your weight loss goals, and yet it tastes so good? Me too. This is one of those recipes. This black and red lentil chili is one for the books, you guys, that you'll want to add to your regular rotation. It is that good. I got the original recipe from Fat Free Vegan Kitchen. I'll link that down below. And then I just made a couple tweaks that I'll write down below in the description. This recipe is so good. It's delicious for the whole family. My daughter and her family came over. I made this red and black lentil chili, and my son-in-law loved it. He actually took some home, had it for leftovers for lunch the next day, and my daughter called me and said, "Mom, you've got to give me that recipe." So I knew I had to share this with you all today. I've lost 39.5 pounds so far following the Starch Solution, and this red and black lentil chili fits right into my weekly rotation. I know that you're going to love it as much as I do. The only problem with this recipe is there's not enough. I usually double it so that I have more and I have leftovers. So let's get to it. The ingredients we use are an onion. I've already chopped it up, a whole onion, I used a red bell pepper, black lentils. I ordered these off of Amazon, and I can put that link below also. And red lentils, 4 cups of veggie broth. I also use this to saute the veggies, so if you want a little bit more veggie broth, or you can just use water for that. I use granulated garlic. There will be soy sauce at the end. Mexican oregano or regular oregano, either one. Cumin powder, chili powder, chipotle chili powder, and smoked paprika. And that's it. That's all you need to make this wonderful, delicious meal. And you know what I'm going to make this with tonight? I'm going to cook up some of my super simple baked cabbage. I think that would be so yummy with this. So let's get cooking. All right, you guys, the pot is pretty heated up. I've had it on here for a while, so I'm just going to add a little bit of the veggie broth. Oh yeah, that's pretty well heated. And then I'm going to add the cut up or diced onions and red peppers, get those going. And I'm going to let these saute until they're pretty soft. I want both the onions and the red peppers to be softened. I really let these soften up, you guys. They've been cooking for about 12 minutes. So probably about 12 to 15 minutes is good. I find the longer I let the red peppers soften, the sweetness comes out in them. Even letting them get caramelized and stick a little to the bottom and then adding more vegetable broth can really bring out this yummy taste, which I love. Next, I'm adding in 1 cup of the black lentils, a 1/4 cup of the red lentils. I rinse them in water. So I add those in, stir that around just to get it nice and mixed with the onions and the red pepper. We want to make sure there's still enough liquid in there, so I'll just add a splash more so that when we add in the seasoning, it can move around for a little bit. In the seasoning, there's 1 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. You can even use regular oregano or Italian seasoning if you have that. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a 1/2 teaspoon of the chipotle chili powder. The chipotle chili powder also, you can add a teaspoon if you want a little more heat, or you can leave it out. I like the little bit of heat, which is super yummy to me. And then you just stir that around. And this is the way I add in all my seasonings when I cook a pot of something, just to let the seasonings kind of open up and invite the flavor to come out. You just stir that around and let it kind of cook in there for a minute. My pot was still pretty high, so I turned it down to medium. I'm a high cooker. My sister teases and says, yeah, Shauna only knows how to cook on high or not at all. Medium, high, and high. Those are my two settings. Now I want to add in the tomatoes. I'll stir those around a little bit. Oh my gosh, it already smells so good, you guys. Then I'll add in the rest of the vegetable broth. Here I'll just partial cover it to bring it to a boil, and then I'll simmer it for about 30 to 45 minutes. All right, it's boiling, you guys. It's smelling so good. I can really smell the spices in there. I'm going to throw a couple bay leaves in there too. I think that'll really add to it. Then I'm going to turn this down to low, cover it. Okay, guys, it's been about 40 minutes. I took a little out and tasted it. Like when I taste the black lentils, you'll taste they have a little bite to them. Not hard, so they're totally soft inside. But I do want them to get a little bit softer. So I'm going to add a little bit more veggie broth and let them cook for about 10 to 15 more minutes. And then I'll add the soy sauce at the end. All right, guys, it's all done. I tasted it. It feels a little soft for me. It feels soft enough for me. The lentils still have a little bit of a bite, and that's nice because you don't want them mushy. And so I'm ready to take the bay leaves out. Whoops. Give it one more stir. I'll turn the heat off. And then very last, we're going to add a teaspoon of tamari. In the original directions, it does say add a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar, which I do not add. To me, it adds a sweetness that I just don't enjoy. So I add the soy sauce, and then I do some salt and pepper. And there we have it. Our black and red lentil chili that is so delicious. Everybody loves this, you guys. Like, literally, I'm telling you, go make it today. I'll meet you over at the counter for a taste. All right, you guys, my favorite part, tasting time. This smells so good. All the seasonings in it just mingle together to smell so tasty. Mmm. Yum. It's so savory. And at the end, if you like heat, you get a little bit of that bite of heat from the chipotle chili powder, which I love. Like, it's not overpowering. It's just when you take a bite, at the end of the bite, as it goes on your taste buds, it's that little taste of heat. But this is such good chili. It's hard for me to even put it in words how good it is. It will satisfy anyone in the family. That is how good it is. So add this to your list now and you will not regret it. It's perfect meal. I can't stop eating it. And what I love to do is add raw onions. I chop up raw onions and put on top of this. And that's like the perfect meal with some cabbage or coleslaw on the side. It just makes a nice meal to have with others when you invite people over or have a big family gathering. Double the recipe because, like I said, it doesn't make enough for a whole lot, but it makes enough if there's 2 to 4 of you for one meal. And then after that, I double it to have leftovers for sure. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. If you love super simple recipes like I do, please check out my playlist of super simple recipes. I've got you covered on those. And if you need a little inspiration for your weight loss journey, be sure to check out my weight loss journey. As like I said, I'm down 39.5 pounds so far. I'll see you next time.